And we're on. Hello, and welcome to podcast episode 109 of Rope Boxing, where the two Daves are back to bring you a week. I always fuck this up at the start. Every time I do this podcast, right, I do a little few notes, bits and bats across my wall, just to remind me of what to go on to next. And every time I say review or preview, if you've noticed, always cock it up. So let's start again. Hello, and welcome to podcast episode 109 of Rope Boxing, where the two Daves, I'm not reading any notes, by the way, are here to bring you a review. No, it's not again. A prediction show midweek. Dave, how are we doing, brother?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Not too bad. Back end of the week. I'm just starting to get tired now from work. But I've got something to tell you, mate. And you probably knew this anyway. But I am officially now the smartest person that's ever been to Phoenix High. I'm certainly the smartest person that was in our year. And I'm also a friend of the show, Razak Ahmed. I'm 100% smarter than him. Right, and I'm going to put this out here now. If he carries on with his lip, I will go to Nigeria and be his boss. So I've got a master's degree. I've passed my MVQ level 7 in senior construction management, which is the equivalent of a master's degree. I haven't got a GCSE to my name, but I've got a master's degree. So I can't imagine that many people from our year went to university. Razak might be one of them. But I can't imagine that many of them did. They barely got out of school, and so yeah, I thought you'd quite like that. But yeah, I could actually come on next week's show with the old gown bit, you know, when they throw the hat in the air and all that. I could actually go and like do that if I and have letters next to my name, you know, like from Trotter's Independent Traders, Tit as the director and Dick.
Yeah, that's definitely, you've lined yourself up for that one, mate, with the Tit.
Yeah, I could be a Dick as the director. And Tit as the company, but yeah, I've been doing an MVQ for the last few months, and I finally got the pass certificate come through a couple of nights ago. So yeah. But what you said at school, kids, you can achieve. I mean, it's taken me 40 years, but you can achieve something.
Well, the main thing to say is, the main thing is to say from behalf of myself and all the listeners that don't follow you, make sure, again, this just goes to prove that you probably were smarter than most people in school. You've gone away and got a master's degree. I still, to this day, for some strange reason, can't get my words out. I don't know the difference between a preview and a review. So congratulations behalf of myself and the viewers. And obviously, T's and C's, guys, while you're there, like, share, and subscribe. Do it now if you're listening via Apple Podcasts. Give us a 5-star review. There's nothing else to do. There again, I ripped my notes. I literally forgot that bit.
Yeah,
lots to digest there. So when you said you had a master's degree, you know, we congratulated you. Well done, you. Sir. You are probably one of the brightest kids in Phoenix High School, which isn't hard. But the first thing that comes to my mind was top rank and brown envelopes. So we don't know how genuine it is.
So if you're asking me if I would have bribed them for it, 100% yes.
There you go. There you go.
I did it. I actually. I mean, you're gonna have to take my word for it because there's no proof. But I actually earned it. But yeah, it's good.
Well, you have been off of executive stress in the past and things like that. So I kind of put 2 and 2 together and come up with 5. Just on the Razak Ahmed thing, anyone that watched our last episode or listened to our last episode, old school friend, got back in touch. Dave and him used to go backwards and forwards, taking the piss out of each other, get each other's mum, dads, etc. He laid out a gunning. It made issue. He made something. I'm struggling today. I'm fucking struggling for words. I don't know if it's too hot up here in West Midlands or what. So Dave took the piss out of Razak like it was 1999. Razak's seen it. He's replied, but he hasn't come back with one. And Dave's gone yet again in on Razak, saying that he's a thicko at school.
I will be his boss.
He'll be his boss. Yeah.
He can call me daddy from now on. He can call me daddy.
I'm going to clip all this and I'm going to send it to him. I'm going to get myself straight. It's been a long couple of nights at work. It's been a long couple of nights at work. So, yeah, no excuses. But people listening to this will think, well, where's the boxing? Why aren't you talking boxing? We will get into it. Yeah. This is a preview show. I just quickly wanted to say, before I was waiting for you to come online, mate, I was just caught up with the Chris Eubank Jr., Conor Benn, Piers Morgan
I've
interview.
seen bits of it,
I've got to admit now, mate, I've had enough now.
Yeah.
I'm getting bored now. I'm actually, flicking through my phone, as I like to say, I'm getting up and putting the kettle on. I've seen it twice. I've gone and saw that this afternoon. Well, tonight, same questions. Piers Morgan's trying to, delve a bit deeper into Chris Eubanks Jr.'s history. Forget it. Go away, boys. What's done is done. Go away. You go that way. You go that way. Have your 12-week camp or whatever it is, and crack on. We see April 26th. All the talking's done now. It's boring. I don't want to see. We're going to have all that again fight week. The same questions, the drug cheats. Where's your dad? No one likes you. Eggs. Yeah, I just wanted to throw that one out there because we hadn't spoke about it. And that was released this time last week. So, yeah.
They're sort of trying to relive their dads because their dad signed the contract live on ITV Sports in a studio. So they're trying to relive all that and start all that sort of shit.
Well,
but
once is enough. Once is enough. We don't need to see it three times. And we're going to see it again fight week. So, come on.
Yeah.
Right, now all that shenanigans is sorted, let's talk a bit about boxing. It's David McDonald's news and his dongs. I change it every week, don't I? But go on.
Yeah, you do, yeah. It's David McDonald and the dongs. So, Frank Warren has revealed that Hamza Shiraz is set to campaign at super middleweight going forward. I don't know how he did the weight. He is just getting bigger and bigger. So it looks like he's ditching middleweight. And moving. This is not confirmed. It's just rumor mills at the minute. But it was always going to be the case. But it looks to me that it was a little bit of a smash and grab at middleweight. Maybe he was really struggling. Like trying to get a middleweight title and then going to bounce up and be a 2-weight world champion. But maybe he struggled that much that he's not going to go and do that now. But we shall see. But yeah, it looks like he's moving up.
It also how much I like Hamza and how much know he lost that fight against Carlos Adames. It comes across a bit strange, mate, because the noise coming out of the Shiraz camp, the Queensbury camp, was we're going to get that legacy WBC green belt. That's the plan. We're going to win that, possibly unify. Then we're going to go up to 168. Maybe he can't make the weight. There's no been suggestion that he can't make 160. He always looks fresh, clean, healthy. Never struggles, never looks gaunt, looks fantastic. And I don't know how he does it because he's such a big boy, 6 foot, whatever he is, but like Fundora is fighting this weekend. But for them not to kind of go and right the wrong, he's an ambassador for Uncle Turkey, Riyadh season, to try and get Turkey to throw money at Al Heyman and get that rematch, or even go for a Lara and even go for wait to see what Janibek does in 2 weeks' time and go and get that title there. It's like he's failed once, Dave, and gone, right, fuck, I can't do this. Whether it's weight, whether it's competition, noses in with the better fighters now because you did get schooled to an extent. I don't give a fuck what anybody says, bad hand or not, and you nailed it. The first 4 rounds, he didn't really throw anything anyway. So the next 8 or 9 rounds is irrelevant.
Yeah.
So it does look a bit of a, as you say, grab if you like, but I don't know what to make of this. If he generally can't make 160, go to 168, be healthy and go and challenge up there.
Yeah.
But if you're kind of running scared of the other 3 or the other 2, Adames and Janibek, I don't know. That's not. I don't like the sound of that. Is he better? Is he not as good as what we thought? Has he been kind of navigated? His career been navigated in a way that he has looked good. I don't know. I'm having second thoughts now because he was adamant he wants that green and gold belt. So why are you moving up straight away? I don't know.
My issue is that this usually happens when a fighter comes off a defeat. Now, don't get me wrong, he was lucky to get anything from that fight. Yeah, but comes off a defeat, and they seem that way. But one fight before, he was the second coming, the middle. He's going in, putting his hat in for.
I believe that. He has
one,
that.
Yeah, he has one sort of. Yeah, he has one sort of dull performance, and now all of a sudden it's a weight thing. Now we always knew it was going to come at some point, but I don't believe that that it's now he has to move up now because he was struggling. I just think I don't want to be disrespectful, a bit of a cop out. It was almost like it was a smash and grab. Smash and grab,
that's it.
Yeah, that's what it feels like to me. It was a smash and grab, trying to get the middleweight title, then going up. He's a 2-weight world champion. It's a narrative, but yeah, I don't. I'm not him. I don't know what goes on in the battle. I don't know how easy he makes the weight. For me, it could be difficult for the size of him, but it wasn't an issue before Adames. So I'm on the fence with that.
Looks iffy.
It does look iffy.
Good luck to him, whatever he does. Anyway, we can't prove it. So.
We're fans of him. That still remains the same, and I wish him well. I don't think that I say it was an off night. Don't get me wrong. He got, I think that Adames' movement was too.
All it's a step too far. Always a step too at this stage of his career. Yes,
at this stage, but that's okay.
It's okay to have somebody better than you.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll see what comes of that. Announced, Rafael Espinoza will defend his WBO featherweight world title against Edward Vasquez on the Nayanue Cardenas undercard on May 4th in Las Vegas. Espinoza out again.
Yeah, good. Active champion. That's what I like to see. Who was Vasquez? Top of my head. Is that the guy that went life and death for Joe Cordino? Was that somebody else?
There's so many. I don't want to put my cock on the block
In
and
Monaco.
say yes, because there's the surnames probably. There's probably a lot of them.
Yeah.
So I can't 100% confirm.
For me as a fan, Nick Ball done what he had to do last week against TJ Tahini. You go and do your part of the deal. I know it's not a deal, but it's a deal in my head as a fan because it's the matchmaking I want to see. You go and do what you got to do against Vasquez. Look good, stop him, all that kind of jazz. I mean, make Nick Ball against Espinosa next. That's what I want to see. But I'm a fan of Espinosa. I like the way he fights.
Yeah, I do.
Again, another 6 foot dude. I don't know how he fucking makes weight neither, but he does, and he looks healthy doing it. So, yeah, obviously a top ranked show. I don't know what promotional company Vasquez is in. I don't know if it's a voluntary or mandatory. I don't care. I just want to see him win. I want to see those two dudes together in the summer of 2025.
Agreed, mate. Announced, and something we'll talk about just after David McDonald, is George Kambosos Jr. will now face Jake Willey this Saturday instead of Jordan, as he was ruled out on medical grounds. So we'll touch on that in a little while. But yeah, it's a replacement opponent for Saturday. Announced Angelo Leo. So all these guys we were talking about with Nick Ball a couple of days ago, all got fights now chalked in. So Angelo Leo will defend his IBF featherweight world title against Tomoki Kameda on May 24th in Osaka, Japan. Traveling.
That's a harder fight. That's a harder fight than what Espinosa's got, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
Upset. Well, I say upset. Is it an upset? Possibly it could be the favorite Kameda, you know. So that's a good fight. That's a good 60-40 fight Kameda, I think. That's a great fight.
That's a really good fight. Out of the ones we sort of announced later, that's one I could really get up for. That's a 50-50 for me.
And don't sleep on Angelo Leo. Nobody sleep on Angelo Leo. Just because he's not the name in the division, along with Nick Ball, Stephen Fulton, and Espinosa. Look what he done to Lopez. He absolutely iced him, smoked him, and Lopez was going around doing that to everybody else. So that's a great fight. That's a great fight. That don't go 12 for me. That don't go fucking 12.
No. I'm looking forward to that. I'm actually looking forward to that.
Alberto Luis Lopez, wasn't it? The one with the funny style.
Yeah, funny style. Yeah,
that's the guy.
Announced Canelo Alvarez versus William Skull full Riyadh season undercard. Now I'm a little bit underwhelmed. Now, am I spoiled with Riyadh season cards? Possibly, but there's a couple of names on there. But listen, with some of the ones we've had recently, you'd look at this and think, okay. So you got Hamilton Guy versus Bruno Sarash 2, Bakoli versus a Jagba, Badu Jack. He's got to be older than us. Versus Ryan Rozicki, Marco Verdi versus Michelle Polina. Brian Leon versus Aaron Guerrero. You know, again, so what I sort of said there, you're sort of spoiled with Riyadh season cards. So you look at a card that and you think, okay, that's a bit. But I can't help but feel that, mate. I'm not 100% sold on that card, really. When you're looking at what we have had. Thoughts?
So Canelo, the only reason Canelo's fighting Skull is because he wants to add to his legacy in terms of being 2-time undisputed at 168. And let's be fair to Canelo didn't lose that belt in the ring. The RBF took it away from him because he couldn't fight or wouldn't fight his mandatory. So that's the only reason he's doing that. The way Canelo's been fighting lately, he plods on. I could see William Skull running. I don't know how to use the word running, but he could box a move, Cuban style. It's got more interest in it, I think, than what it says on paper. But again, we'll come to that when we review it. Bakoli, big fans of Bakoli on here. Irrelevant him getting beat by Parker. There's circumstances there. He will smash Efia Jagba up. I say that now. If he doesn't beat Efia Jagba, I'm going to stop doing this podcast because he's tailor-made for him. A fit Bakoli that's had a training camp is going in there to destroy Efia Jagba.
I've seen videos this week of Bakoli. He's shifting weight. So he seems like he's up for this. So he's getting into some shape.
And the other one you said, forget the final two because I don't know who they are, but Bruno Siraj versus Jaime Munguia is literally Munguia going in there and doing what he's supposed to do the first time. Don't get caught cold. Don't put your hands down. Don't get cocky and just go and take him out against a guy that had, 3 or 4 knockouts to his name. So, it's a kind of a revenge, isn't it? But I can't see, unless he lands the money shot against Siraj, unless he's got his number, he's one of those guys, it's going to be full steam ahead from Jaime Munguia. But mate, it's an okay card, and it's a Canelo card, so you always kind of go go out your way to watch it if you like, but there's been better. And you're probably right. We have been sport with Uncle Turkey cards. This is probably just a standard PBC / top rank Golden Boy card before Turkey came on the scene, you know. So yeah, it's not the best, but I've seen worse, mate. So yeah, I can live with it if you like. Piccoli's on it, so Piccoli's on it.
The one thing I like about it is that the fact that it'll be on the same time as UK. We've never seen Canelo fight on the UK time, so that would be quite nice. To see him on there by 9:30, 10 o'clock. That would be lovely.
So is this the Saudi one on the Saturday? Is it Inoue? No, on is it the Friday or is it Inoue on the Sunday? This is on the same time frame. I'm getting confused now because you've obviously got the one in New York, haven't you, with Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, all those guys. Yeah, we'll have to get the date straight because I know there's one that's like over two nights. I think Inoue's on the Sunday, and so either Canelo or Teofimo Lopez on the Saturday. So I haven't got the dates in front of me. No, one's in April, one's in May, I think. So.
No, that's May 3rd. So the Canelo's May 3rd.
When's the Times Square one? Is that April, isn't it?
Yes.
That's in April, I think. Yeah.
You'll like this bit of news. Because to be fair, I'm big on the female fighters, but undisputed super featherweight world champion Alicia Gardner has signed a promotional deal with MVP Promotions. So with what he's done for Miranda Serrano is fantastic, and Alicia Gardner's going to get some of that paper. So she's signed with him, and I don't blame her, to be fair.
Yeah, good luck to her. I don't like to poo-poo on anybody's parade, but I don't remember seeing any form of clarity on her failed drug tests, but maybe I missed it. If she's clean and she's clear to fight, she's served a silent ban or whatever it is, go for it, because she is one of the more exciting fighters in the division, and obviously Jake Paul weighs him in terms of money, percentage out of his MVP purse. So, there is positives and negatives to Jake Paul, but it's be interesting who he puts him against now, doesn't it? Obviously Katie Taylor against Amanda Serrano. Yes, Taylor's a matchroom fighter, but it was all kind of MVP. Eddie Hearn didn't really have a lot to do with it apart from cheer her on. So be interesting who they put Baumgardner against, But just getting paid, and hopefully it's a stepping stone for other female fighters in the future, getting a good payday, hefty sums of money. We've all got to start somewhere, but I'm waffling a little bit, but fair play to Jake Paul and good luck to Baumgardner.
Yeah. Emmanuel Navarrete will defend his WBO super featherweight world title against Charlie Suarez on May 10th in San Diego. Zal Abdullayev versus Raymond Muratella for the IBF interim world lightweight title is also on that card. That's the one. That's a bit of news than the actual announcement of the main fight.
Yeah, that's underwhelming. That the main event. I'm sure we've called for Muratella versus Abdullayev in the past.
Yeah.
I'm sure we've match made them too. That's a great fight. That's much better than the main event. Much better.
Yeah, May 10th in San Diego.
Clash of styles. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah,
it's a clash of styles. If Abdullayev gets that jab going, Muratella's going to have to find a way to navigate around it. And obviously, if Muratella gets into a rhythm, he might just possibly stop Abdullayev.
Yeah.
So that's a great fight. I'm looking forward to that.
Fireworks, that one for me, mate. Fireworks. Yeah, it's brilliant. This is the best bit of news I've had today, right?
Apart from your master's degree.
Well, that was obvious.
Your top-ranked brown envelope.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I bribed him for that one. Boxing has been officially reinstated to the Olympic Games for Los Angeles 2028. It's now been confirmed. The International Olympic Committee voted unanimously in favour of its inclusion into the International Federation World Boxing is set to organise the tournament. So it's back in LA 2028. We mentioned this a long time ago when it was taken out. What it does for amateur boxers, what it does for amateur boxing, it's so important, and I'm so glad that they fought for it. And Triple G's had a massive part in this, and fair fucking play. And I'm so glad. That's the best bit of news of today.
Yeah, Triple G. Yeah, he actually hasn't announced his retirement, has he? Which is quite strange. But yeah, he was put at the forefront of the committee, if you like. I think the IBA now have been fucked off, the Russian organisation, I think it was, for the corruption that's involved in it. There was talks of it not being involved in the Olympics anymore, which is to be a tragedy, because it's been there since more or less day dot. But it's grassroots, learning your fundamentals and then turning your skills into a pro and earning some money. So, yeah, I love the Olympics. I always have done, but I'm more of a track and field guy. But obviously, my first love is pro boxing. So to not have that in the early parts of the week in the Olympic Games when you've got your archery and your judo and all that kind of thing, because I'm not really interested. It'll be a travesty, but yeah, it looks like it's back on. And as you said there, mate, Triple G's had a lot to do with it. So yeah, that is a bit of good news. Yeah, boxing, it will never go away. It'll never die. As I say about football, all the money that's involved, all the corruption that's involved, you take away every part of coin that's involved in these kind of sports, you'll always be left with the sport from grassroots working your way back up. Yeah. So yeah, fair fucks.
No, it's brilliant. And that's how I'm going to end it today for David McDonald and the Dons.
I don't know if I don't know if it's news, if you like, but obviously I mentioned Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn earlier. Did you not see Chris Eubank Jr. offer Eddie Hearn to take him up on the bet, the £1 million bet?
Yeah, I was going to talk about that, but it's pantomime stuff.
It is pantomime, but I know I kind of been a hypocrite in the sense of I've had enough of the press conferences and all that kind of thing. But let's be totally honest, at the moment, Chris Eubank Jr. is making Eddie Hearn look like a right cunt. He really is. He's making him look like a novice in the promotional game, because he's called out Ben Shalom about £1 million bet, right? And Chris Eubank Jr. has pulled him up on it, so about putting it in escrow, so then they do get paid out. Eddie Hearn's come out with this wank excuse that he's got. It's not an excuse, it's probably legit. He had an email saying as a pro promoter, he can't make bets and he doesn't want to bet with Chris Eubank Jr. for his personal reasons. You fucking shit it. You're not backing Conor Benn. You don't even have to bet like that. Just do it as a term. I saw somebody put on earlier and it made perfect sense. Put that £1 million purse on top of Chris Eubank Jr.'s purse. So like a £1 million win bonus, and do the same for Conor Benn. But obviously it goes to Eddie Hearn's purse, his percentage. It's not, you don't have to make it as in a gentleman's bet, but you have to put it in escrow. Come on, mate. I've got to be honest. Eddie does some good things. He says some silly things, but he's making him look like a twat because he's worse than me for stumbling. I'm doing it now for muffling his words, not saying the right thing, not knowing what to say. He's when it comes to the showman, when it comes to the salesman, selling sand to the Arabs, ice to the Eskimos. He's top drawer. I really am enjoying it. So, and Eddie hasn't got a lot to come back with.
Chris Eubank Jr. has had them all on toast in this one. He's got he's again, we talk about him being the best salesman in boxing, and he is. But even the way he's speaking it, they just ain't got anything for him. Like, he's got an answer for absolutely everything. So he's got them all on toast. So fair play to him. Fair play to him.
Could you imagine, right? Because he's always talked the talk, but he's never walked the walk. Could you imagine, right, if he never lost that pen going into the Gennady Golovkin fight? Yes, I know it's a joke and a cliche and things like that, but that was more or less the truth. He bottled it, wanted certain bits added on. It was like, no, we're not giving you all that fucking, this is a voluntary for a free shot at the world title. Kell Brook went in there and done what he had to do. Could you imagine if he went in there with Golovkin, beat Golovkin, won multiple titles? He would be the UK's poster boy / sweetheart / he'd be the guy, wouldn't he, Chris Eubank Jr., if he just walked the walk and backs it up, man, because he does everything AJ doesn't in terms of vocals.
Oh, he sells very well.
Oh, fucking hell, he is. Yes, he just the boxing career. He'd take me to score in terms of what he says he's won and things that I'd be open. Right? But yeah, it's just a shame, really, because I've really enjoyed the way he's been schooled in Eddie of late, and not many people do that to Eddie. And let's be totally honest. Yeah. But yeah, all fun and games. So talking of fun and games, I think March is the worst month for you, Dave. 2025. I don't know about previous years, but obviously you've said on the pod before you've had a couple of funerals this month, and you're struggling in the prediction league. I'm going to be a spoil it for everybody else again. They might have gone away and looked at the results, but I'll just elaborate what happened at the weekend. Going into last weekend was 5-3 to more points wise. The results are as follows: Nick Ball versus TJ Dahini. We both went for Ball by KO. Dave went in round 6. I went in round 10. He was pulled out going into the 10th. So on BoxRec, he comes out as an RTD 10. So that's 3 points for Dave. It's 3 points. Yeah, 3 points for Dave because he went knockout. Yeah, 3 points for Dave. And that's a full house for Mr. Graham. That's 6 points. Yes, he's on my god in because he knows what's coming. Kane Edwards, Strand Baluta. Both went for Edwards. Both went Baluta. So there was nothing there for us there. Ammo Williams versus Patrice Volney. We both went for Ammo. Dave went for the knockout. So that's a point for Dave. I went for points. So that's 3 points for me. Belanga Ortiz. Both went Belanga by KO. Dave in 4, me in 6. Belanga done it in a round. So there's 3 points apiece there. And the same with Callum Walsh. I went 2, Dave went 3, vice versa. But Callum Walsh went and done it in a round. So there's 3 points apiece there, making the scores on the doors. Dave H 10, Dave Graham 15, going into this week's round. This week's round of boxing. David Holland 3 points, David Graham 6 points. You don't like March there?
No, I don't. It's been a shit one. Absolutely shit.
I'm starting to make a little bit of a gap here now, mate.
Yeah, you are. I'll always claw it back, though.
Yeah. You hope so. You've had a good day. You said you've had a good week in March, apart from that result.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's get my notes out. Let's see what happens this weekend coming. There's not a lot going on this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. It's a bit shit. I've got to be honest. I can't again like last weekend. Bar the Nick Ball fight, there wasn't anything to get excited about. Again, we thought Charlie Edwards against Andrew Kane would be a great fight, but it turned out to be an absolute stinker. There again, there's 3 fights we're going to talk about this week. They could turn out to be, fights of the year. I very much doubt it, but we will start in Australia. This is Saturday morning for us here in the UK. George Kambosos Jr. versus Jake Willey. This is the main event. It was supposed to be, as Dave said earlier in the news, George Kambosos versus David Jordan. Pulled out because of medical reasons. Right. George Kambosos Jr., I don't want to go down the repertoire of what he's been and done and things like that, the opportunities he gets, because he's got a great management team. Eddie Hearn's linked back up with him. The Jordan fight for me was a cherry pick in terms of kind of a name that's been in with Anthony Crolla. Not that means much, but he's quite inactive, but he was knocking dudes out. So it was a George Kambosos kind of another homecoming, if you like, to look good and then go on to a Richardson Hitchins fight, which to me is disgraceful in terms of Jack Catchell, because Richardson Hitchins is already in Australia. The ink is ready to be, the ink's wet at the moment. It's ready to be signed if George Kambosos comes through at the weekend. Obviously, Jordan Dave pulled out, or his team pulled him out. Jake Willey is the opponent now. And I think this is a better fight. Even though I know nothing about the kids, I've had to go and have a look at BoxRec, go and have a look at some footage of the guy, like most people have. He's an Australian champion. Currently, he hasn't really boxed over 6 rounds. He's 24 years of age, but this is his Josh Padley moment. This is because he's got the phone call. He's kept himself fit, ready, as I always say, in the gym, ready to go. He's a bit of a puncher. This is it. You're going to beat George Kambosos in your own country. This is New South Wales versus Queensland. There's a narrative there they can try and sell. But you go and do a job on Kambosos Jr., it's going to open up for you. He'll possibly get signed by Matchroom. Eddie likes to go down the Don King route at times, doesn't he? You leave with the champ. Even though he's not a champion, you enter with the champion. You leave with the challenger or the winner. So yeah, I'm more excited for this one because there's a bit more jeopardy for George Kambosos Jr. He hasn't been training for Jake Willey. He's I wouldn't say he's a different fighter from Jordan from what we're seeing, but he's still a come forward, fighter as in terms of he likes to throw. He's not really defensive. And George Kambosos Jr., for all the success that he's had, I don't really rate him. I've got to be totally honest. I don't. He had a night of his life, didn't he, against Teofimo Lopez all those a couple of years ago, and he did win that fight. He got the knockdown. Teofimo started too late, and he tried to drag it back, but it is what it is. And he went in. He stepped in against Devin Haney twice. Been schooled. Lomachenko schooled. Should have lost to Maxi Hughes. So he's at, to me, Kambosos Jr. is at a level, but he's earned so much money of bad performances and losses.
Yeah. And
this is an interesting fight here because Kambosos is tough, but he's very limited to what he can do. He's got T-Rex arms. He fights one way. Mate? What you making of this fight? It's not one I'm going to get up for. I'll be in bed anyway because on Saturday morning because I'll be at work Friday night. But I think Jake Willey is going to he's going to give it his all. Again, I'm going to keep repeating myself, guys, but this is a rocky moment for him. Will he get this opportunity again? Who knows? And even though it's not for a world title, it's against a name, probably apart from Jabba, one of the biggest names in not just Australian boxing, but probably world boxing at the moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, what do you reckon?
Yeah, George Kambosos Jr. is a hard one for me because, like I say, it's almost like he had the lottery night. And don't listen, I say no. Actually, I'll take that back because he earned that win and he became undisputed. Against Teofimo Lopez, who for me blows hot and cold, doesn't get up for fights, and I honestly believe that's what happened when he went in with George Kambosos. We've seen him do it since, where he can't get up and he scrapes wins and stuff, and I think that's how George Kambosos, took advantage of that. And fair play, you've got to take your shot when it's given to you. But he's lost to Devin Haney twice. I know you're right. He lost to Maxi Hughes, but he got the decision. And he's lost. So he's come off of 4 losses since then. Really, I know the record will speak differently. Is he elite? No.
No.
Is he? What is he's sort of dying off the fact that he was undisputed.
I'd say it's world level. It's definitely world level. But
but no, he's not. Yeah. I don't know. They seem to be wanting to try and penetrate the sort of Australian market, don't they? At the minute, where they've got that.
He sells tickets.
Yeah, he sells tickets. It's almost like they're trying to build a sort of a stable, build a name, and have something going on in Australia. And George Kambosos is a big name there. Everyone knows him. He's a big name. He's
making Eddie money, mate. He's going to make Eddie money. That's the point of Eddie signing up with him again. Because sorry to interrupt, but didn't Eddie? I'm not going to put words in Eddie's mouth. Or I'm sure when Devin Haney was co-promoting, when Eddie Hearn was co-promoting Devin Haney against George Kambosos, he more or less said that Kambosos was rubbish. Now he's signed up with him again after the lease. I think he's walked out with lease when he beat Lee Selby, and he's making money off him. So Eddie's there to do what he's there to do, make money. He's a businessman. So. Yeah, sorry, mate. Yeah,
of course it is. And like I say, Jake Willey, he's been called in as a late replacement. I don't know a hell of a lot about him, but he's got 15 knockouts in 16 wins, so he can obviously punch. So this is like a potential banana skin because it's how you deal with it. It's probably going to be one of them ones where George Kambosos walks through him and everyone goes, so he was a late replacement. That's what he's supposed to do, or he goes life and death with him. So it's a toss of a coin, really, with this one, and it's very hard to call. Yeah, George Kambosos Jr. is a name, really. The minute he goes in with anyone with any sort of level, he'll be found out for me.
He already has, doesn't he? He already has with Lomachenko and Devin Haney twice.
Yeah. So is it? I don't.
To be fair, Dave. To be fair, he hasn't looked since this late replacement. You know what Kambosos is like. He's good on the mic as well. He can sell a fight. He's active on social media. He has got a lot going for him. And when I say I don't rate, I mean I don't like Rolly Barrero. I don't rate him as a world-class boxer or anything like that. I said he is at world level. He does put in performances because he's tough and he's game and he doesn't say no to anybody. But he doesn't look as cocky in these couple of face-offs I've seen. He's been a bit respectful to Willey. So I don't know. I don't know about this one, mate. Because he's tough and he's hard to put away. I probably would edge to Kambosos Jr. But mate, again, I say it for the third or fourth time. This is a rocky moment for Jake Willey. Opportunities will open up for him if he beats Kambosos on Saturday morning.
Oh, absolutely. And a lot of fighters get that. That's what he's sort of like. I don't want to say he's like a gatekeeper because he's not there yet. But like his name sort of carries a sort of gatekeeper sort of weight. That he's on the fringe of something. That yes, he has the undisputed titles, and he could never take that away from him. But having his name on your record is a good thing for someone. So like Jake Willey, as George Kambosos Jr. on, he's the opportunities like you said are gonna come in. Can he do it? I don't know. I'm gonna say this is gonna be a harder fight, like you said. I think it's gonna be a harder fight than anyone expects. I think Jake Willey's gonna try his absolute heart out and make something of it, and he might even come out of it with a bit of credit. But I think George Kambosos is going to win on points. I get a feeling this is going to be harder than expected.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same as well. He's they're both at home, aren't they? But he's the A side. He's the ticket seller. Eddie's obviously had a say in his opponent as well. There's somebody that's not as much jeopardy as somebody else. I think there is something here with Willey. Just not even watching much footage of him. It's because he's tough to put away, Kambosos Jr. I think he'll just do enough. I mean, he took a lot of shots from a lot of angles from Lomachenko to actually get stopped. Devin Haney didn't actually stop him. He was just outboxed. Willey's not that sort of fighter. But yeah, Kambosos Jr., mate, and either a late stoppage from him or a points victory. Because you've gone points. Well, let's make it a bit interesting. I'll go Kambosos late. This guy's never been past 6, so I'll give it George Kambosos a stoppage win in rounds. I'm going to go round 9. Yeah, but I'm not confident. I've got a bit, even though it sounds crazy to say, if you probably have to go and have a look at the betting, it'll be a heavy odds-on favourite, George Kambosos Jr. But I'm not confident that he's going to be. I'm not confident it's going to look good beating Jake Willey. And also, just before I move on to the co-main, as I mentioned there in my opening gambit about this fight, Richardson Hitchens in Australia, matchroom fighter, looking to sign a contract, the rumours say, with George Kambosos Jr. straight after this, right? Yeah. So how the fuck has Eddie not been able to get a voluntary for Jack Catchall? Same weight. He's had Paro, Mateus, Hitchens, all under the matchroom banner. That says more about Jack than it says about Eddie. Why aren't you getting that guy voluntaries against your own champions? George Kambosos, this ain't even a fucking eliminator or anything, is it? This is just a voluntary defense to look, to sell tickets, to sell yourself in your own country, going into the Hitchens fight. I don't, mate. This is crazy. Boxing's fucking crazy, man. Yeah. How you can get world title shots off getting knocked out because he was knocked out by Lomachenko, and then fighting this level of opponent, and then you're going into a world title. Oh, fuck, it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. So I kind of feel sorry for Jack again. I know I have to bring it up, but it does frustrate me, especially what's going on at the moment with TKO and this one singer, one song. 4 opportunities to become world champion in one division. It kind of sums it up. But yeah, good luck to both men. That's on Saturday morning for us here in the UK. Right, where am I now? I'm messing about with my banners. The next fight I'm going to go on to is more fingers and thumbs today, guys. Here we are. Skye Nicolson versus Tiara Brown. This is Skye Nicolson back in the land of Oz. So third defense of a WBC title. Right, where do we go with this one? It's to me, Dave. Obviously, we've been advocates of Skye Nicolson since day one. The way that she fights, got nothing against that. She hasn't lost a round, to my knowledge. She starts fast, gets herself into rhythm. No one can match her. I mean, is Tiara Brown the girl that's going to get inside and ruffle her up and hit her hard and wobble her and stop her? I don't know. I don't know. As I said on on Monday's show, I had a bit of a to-do with somebody on Twitter, arguing about Skye Nicolson. And I firmly believe that Karis Arkansas is the test for her here. I haven't really seen much of Tiara Brown. You go and have a look at her record, mate. She's got 11 KOs and 18. You've got to get close to Skye. You've got to get in the inside. You've got to land on her. You've got to hurt her. You've got old manner. Yeah. You've got to use the dark arts because she's got such long legs. She's got such a long reach. And let's be honest, I think a lot of us thought Raven Chapman was the test, and it proved to be again another schooling. I mean, what do we do with opponents facing Skye Nicolson? Unless you sort of bull rush her and make it look ugly, you're going to get beat, aren't you?
You've got to drag her into something she don't want to be involved in. If you let her box at range, box on the outside, she's going to box your head off all night, and because that's what she's good at. And I don't see any difference here. I'm looking at the Tiara Brown's box rec here. Her last opponent had 17 losses, and she went to points with her. One on the unanimous decision. Her opponent before that, 12 losses, 19 wins. Yeah, she went points with that. I just don't see it. I think Skye Nicolson does Skye Nicolson things. The way to beat it was we spoke about dark arts in the week there.
Make her uncomfortable.
Make her uncomfortable, put her under pressure, but you need the engine for that. But that's the only way I see it. I don't see Tiara Brown. Again, this for me is one of them sort of smoke screens. She's 36 as well. One of these sort of smoke screens. She's making all the right amount of noise. But her record,
yeah, she's selling it well. Yeah.
Yeah, her record, 11 KOs and 18 fights suggests that she's she can punch, but she's got to get her feet into position to land these punches, and I just don't see how she does it against Skye Nicolson. But again, she is making all the right noise. She's grabbing Skye Nicholson's belt and all that at the face-offs, and so fair play. She's making enough noise to try and make it exciting. But when she gets in the ring, I think that there's levels to this, and I don't think she's going to let go. I honestly don't think that Skye Nicolson loses around it. You mentioned Karis Arkansas in your section just there, and like I said, we talked that they're the sort of fights that will give her jeopardy. I don't see anyone in the fringe or around hanging around. The unknowns that they're gonna do this. There's only a few names, and Karis Arkansas is one of them. And until we get that fight, I just don't see Skye Nicolson having any sort of slip ups. I think she goes in and does unanimous again, wins every round, boxes this girl head off. I think this girl will try and come forward. but I think Skye Nicolson has too much for us. So for me, Skye Nicolson wins it on an easy, comfortable points win.
Yeah. Coasts, shutout, rinse and repeat from every other fight. It doesn't help with the 10-2s. I know it's the same for Skye as it is for other opponents. You've got to start fast on her.
Yeah.
Got to start fast on her, because once she establishes that range and once she sets her feet, she navigates her way around the ring where she gets you exactly where she wants you. You can't get close to her. So she's got to start fast. Yes, it's right for me sitting here telling her what you should and shouldn't do, but every other girl's tried it and they just can't get close to her. So yeah, it will be interesting. 10-2s, 20 minutes. I think that Tiara Brown possibly, should have enough gas in the tank, but again, it's landing. It's hit and not get hit, and most of her opponents can't hit her, but she lands on them, whether people find it boring or not. But I'm in
It's the in and out. It's the in and out. It's up on her toes. There's too much lateral movement. There's too much IQ, and the thing is, you can't even match her for it because, you have to be she's got elite skills. So the only way you're going to have to do that is to try and push her back, and get her back to the ropes and not let her move from side to side and in and out. But you've got to get her into a dogfight. So
the thing is, you can do that. You can Raven pushed her back, but Raven still couldn't land. But when Skye was still hit her and on the way out.
Yeah,
I mean, that just proves what you're saying about the IQ. She could. She's hit, not hit. She's on the back foot. She knows exactly what to do. She's just a very, very skilled fighter, and she's very, very hard to match. And again, she's the home fighter in our home nation. She might be looking to put a bit of a show in as well. She might up her game, Skye. She might actually try and sit down on some of her shots if she gets the chance, because she will land on Tiara Brown. If she finds, she sets the trap, she finds the angle, she finds the gaps. You could see Skye Nicolson put it on a knockout performance. I doubt it. So I don't think she really generates the power. We haven't really seen her generate power because she's not that type of girl. But I agree with you, mate. An unanimous points decision for Skye Nicolson on Saturday morning. Just quickly, again, this card doesn't float me boat. You've got Chanika Johnson versus Nina Hughes. The rematch, if anybody remembers last year, Nina Hughes was read out as the winner, and then it was
announced wrong, wasn't it?
It was announced wrong. So they're having a rematch there. And Teramona Jr. Is on this card as well. So you're just waiting for him to knock out his opponent in one round. We'll jump over to the States. That's on DAZN, by the way. Anybody wants to tune into that. And this card's even worse. It's a PBC card. It's about 16 fights in here. I don't know hardly any of them. It looks like their version of a next-gen card, if you like. But the main event is Sebastian Fundora versus Chordale Booker over at the Michelob Arena in Vegas. Fundora's been inactive for about a year. Last time we saw him, Dave, he was in that bloodbath war with Tim Tszyu. He got the split decision win that night. He's back on Saturday night. I don't know if Booker's a PBC fighter or I don't know. But it's not one that, I can't get excited. Thank God it's not pay-per-view for people. It's just part of your Amazon Prime subscription. He's headlining. This is a fight for me just to get the ring rust off, get a few rounds in to look good. Hopefully we can get a unification against Murtazaliev or somebody after. He's had injuries, Fundora, so I'm guessing he'll want to get a few rounds under his belt. I'll give Booker a puncher's chance. You look at the difference in height. Fundora's the Tower Inferno. That's his nickname. He's called the Tower Inferno for a reason. Everybody has to look up to him. Can Booker land a kind of Brian Mendoza one-hitter quitter, if you like? He's been stopped by Ammo Williams in the round. Ammo Williams didn't look great last week. I'm not really selling the fight, am I? I'm sounding droning and boring. I get why he's having this kind of opponent, Dave, but he is a world champion. Fundora, he's got 2 of the belts. Does Booker deserve a shot at the 2 of the belts on Saturday night? No, he doesn't.
No.
It's PBC, so it's in-house. Yeah, I mean, mate, what do you make of this fight? I could probably give Fundora this one because he's been out for a year, but as a champion, you're supposed to take on all comers. You're supposed to take on the best. Chordale Booker isn't the best, and I think Sebastian Fundora will be too much for him. Too big, too rangy, too powerful. He throws a lot of shots. Yeah, I'm trying to sell it a little bit now, guys, but again, you can tell by my attitude, I'm not. Again, it's not an alarm setter, is it?
No, it's not. It's certainly not. It's good to see Sebastian Fundora back out.
Yeah.
We need to see an active Fundora. because when he's fit and he's healthy and he's active, he's a problem in the division, man. Yeah, this one is to shake off the ring rust. I expect him to come through this and then be out again, probably September, and we'll try and fight at least 2-3 fights a year going forward. Chordale Booker, got stopped by Ammo Williams in a round, so that doesn't bode well for him. He hasn't fought anyone of note since. I'm not sure what he's going to bring to the table. But it's one of them ones. It's one of it's just
I'll give him a puncher's chance.
Yeah, I think that Sebastian Fundora is going to want to have a few rounds here. Yeah. I don't see him coming in and doing a Belanga and trying to bang him out and thinking. I think that he's going to work on a few bits, lead the start there, go through the repertoire, sort of download, and then and I don't see much jeopardy here for Fundora. I think it's a run of the mill sort of fight. Like you said there, we just sort of give him a gimme when they sort of come off a loss. But if he's been out and inactive, just to get him out, get the ring rust off, get some rounds under his belt, and then go to, like you said, Murtazaliev later on in the year. Possibly.
I'm more annoyed that it's for 2 world title belts rather than just Fundora coming back on an undercard, because the name link was Errol Spence for God knows how many months. I don't think we'll ever see Errol Spence again. No. With the car crash and the drinking and the way he comes across on social media, he might be done. But you have a look at the rankings, mate. You got one of our favourite fighters. It is number 1 at the moment, held in an interim belt or whatever fucking belt it is Zander Xayas.
Yeah.
He's definitely earned his shot. If you go along the rhetoric of, fighting whoever's put in front of him, earning his ranking points, paying his sanctioning fees, he would have been the guy, if not next, if you can't get a Murtazaliev fight, because he looks like an avoided fighter, 154.
Yeah.
Give him the chart. We said on here before, now he needs a name, Xayas. Now he needs a name to look relevant as well, to show how good he really is. That, to me, would be the next fight if you couldn't unify. But,
I expect Fundora to go in with a name after this. I think, this is just a gimme, like I say, something just to get the ring rust off, or just get a few rounds under his belt to lead on to something, because before injuries and whatever he's been out for, there was names being slung at him. So I believe that this is just get your range, get your range in, and then I expect something decent to be announced for his next fight. So it's just one of them sort of fights. It's we'll review it, we'll watch it. I don't see much in it. I think Sebastian Fundora is gonna, I would say, start slow, but I think he's going to download, pick his shots, try a few bits and pieces, and then I think he's going to put his foot on the gas and take out Booker in round 7.
Yeah, I'll go 5. Sebastian Fundora in 5. There'll be a bit more excitement next week, I think, guys. We've got 2 rematches to look forward to. We've got Sandy Ryan and Michaela Meyer part 2. That should be good. That was a great fight the first time round. We've also got William Sapeda versus Tevin Farmer part 2. So that's 2 we can get excited about coming up for next week. But winners weekly wager now, before we say goodbye and fuck off. £26 in the pot. Last week I went in on Callum Walsh for my banker of the week. He'd done exactly what we expect him to do. But he'd done it in round 1. I think I went for round 3. So it's 3 points there. I turn those 3 points into pounds, and then Dave doubles it, making it £6. Going into this weekend is £32 in the pot. And as we stick to the rules, as I said last week on this podcast, I won the prediction league this week, so I get to pick the winners weekly wager again. And with only 3 fights, I think the obvious choice, Dave, has got to be Skye Nicolson on points to be the banker this weekend, mate. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with that. You could have gone for Fundora.
I could do, but I've got that. Don't get me wrong, we just made our predictions. But if he gets caught cold, and if he lands up, the one hitter quitter kind of thing, I can't see that happening in the Skye Nicolson fight. And obviously, George Kambosos, I don't know what version of Jake Willey's coming out. He's unknown quantity. There's no kind of data on him against this level of opponent. So Skye Nicolson to kind of coast on points, which will earn us 3 points, double it, another £6 into the pot, I hope. So yeah, that's our preview and prediction show over. I've got my words out at the end of the episode. Anything you want to add, mate? Plans for the weekend? What's going on in the world of David Holland this weekend?
Arsenal women's versus Liverpool women's 5:30 on a Saturday evening. I've got to go to the Emirates. So that's all I'm doing. I was going to go to my mum and dad's the weekend, but it's Mother's Day next weekend, so I'll probably go there on the Sunday. So no, not a lot, mate. I'm going to do Arsenal women's on the weekend. What about yourself? Stourbridge women or anything going on? Yeah,
Stourbridge women are at home to rugby. Go and watch them get beat, have a couple of beers, be pissed by 8 o'clock and then straight into bed. I've got to do some notes actually because we've got a couple of guests coming on. We've got one next Tuesday, so you'll see us. You'll see us or hear from us next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. You lucky people. We've got a couple more female guests coming on, pro boxers. One we've got coming on Tuesday is quite well known to the UK audience. Well, she should be anyway. So that'd be a bit of fun for the time that we've got her. But I've got to go to work. Dave's got to do his usual shave and a shower, fill his face and get himself off to bed. So that's the end of episode 109, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, we'll be back next week. Until then, have a great weekend. Stay safe. And try and enjoy the bloody boxing for what it's worth, but enjoy the boxing. Dave, have a good one, brother, and I'll speak to you soon.
Take care, me old mucker.